Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the second night of our FFA Banquet video series. Tonight we will celebrate those who have supported our livestock exhibitors through the online virtual auction this year. Excellence cannot be achieved without support, guidance, and direction from those outside of our organization. Tonight we will add 2 people to our prestigious list of honorary members. Please join us and celebrate the accomplishments and awards that will be presented tonight. Zoe Hartsink, our FFA treasurer, will recognize the buyers who have supported our livestock exhibitors this year.
This year, Bret Harte FFA livestock exhibitors were faced with uncertainty and apprehension of what they would be doing with their animal purchases prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. They invested thousands of dollars and countless hours into the growth of a wholesome food product to sell at the county fair. We would like to recognize and thank all of our buyers for supporting the members during this difficult time. It is because of your generosity and continual support that our Ag Department and the Calaveras County Fair are such a success. Countless times our community has been faced with tragedy, yet the compassion and caring nature of Calaveras County is always prevalent. We thank those of you who logged on to the online sale and those community members that bought privately. Our exhibitors' dreams are made possible through your valued support. The following people are single buyers: George Reed, Inc., Cuerdo Services, Tanko Well Drilling, Union Mine Ranch, AI, Stephanie Peffer, Megan Yoder, Wyatt and Maddie Walraven, Murphy's Motorcycle Company, Beck and Carrie Phillips, Diane and Brad Fopiano, Winter Creek Ranch, Middleton's Mark Twain Center, Kylie Mills, in memory of Vern DeValley, James Harryford, John Udy, Kyle and Sabrina Kraus, Distinctive Metals, Roleri Excavation, Brad Sutton Trucking, Amtech Industries, Inc., California Healthy Harvest, Puccinelli Construction, CFLC, Liberatus Academy, New Maloney's Lake Marina, Calaveras Concrete Pumping, Low Fab, Robert Urban, GM Cattle Company, Jess Crick. The following people are multiple buyers: Eco Fire, CT and Sarah Tuthill, Young's Payless IGA, Calaveras Lumber, Angels Sheet Metal, J. Hart Ranch, and Stuart Segali. We applaud our buyers and thank them for supporting our members during this difficult time.
It is always a pleasure to welcome honorary members into the FFA chapter family. The purpose of this ceremony is to recognize from time to time the efforts others make on our behalf. The efforts of these individuals model what it means to challenge the impossible and overcome obstacles to get the job done, which certainly embodies our FFA officer team's theme this year. Madam Secretary, please read the section of the National Constitution which provides for honorary membership.
Honorary membership. Farmers, school superintendents, principals, members of boards of education, chapter advisors, teachers, staff members in agricultural education, business people, and others who are helping to advance agricultural education and the FFA, and who have rendered outstanding service may be elected to honorary membership by a majority vote of the members present at any regular meeting or convention.
Madam Secretary, will you introduce those who are to receive this honor?
Madam President, members and guests, I am pleased to announce that this year's honorary members are Miss Casey Musekia and Miss Lori Giannini.
I welcome you as friends of the FFA. It is my privilege as Sentinel to extend to you the symbolic handclasp of friendship and brotherhood.
As reporter, I am pleased to inform you that the FFA is a national youth organization whose purpose is to develop agricultural leaders. Welcome to membership.
Your contribution as a useful citizen in our democracy serves as an example for our members to follow. As treasurer, I would like to welcome you to our organization.
The FFA needs counsel and guidance from our recognized leaders. It is my honor as secretary to add your names to our roll of honorary members.
As Vice President, I welcome you to the FFA. I would inform you that our members learn to appreciate the dignity of our labor. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much.
As President, on behalf of every member, I wish to say that we are proud to have you as an honorary member. May this affiliation prove valuable to all. I impress upon you that we look to you for counsel and guidance. It is because of the great respect that we have for you that you have been elected to honorary membership. May we always cooperate for the benefit of all. I now confer upon you the honorary membership in the Bret Harte FFA chapter and present you with this token of membership. Does any member have any opposition to the selected honorary members? Seeing none, all in favor of this honorary membership signify by saying aye. Welcome to membership. Congratulations to Mrs. Casey Musekia and Mrs. Lori Giannini. Mrs. Phillips will now say a few words about the newly elected honorary members.
As tradition follows, all honorary members make sure that they get at least a few comments from the FFA advisor. And with that, I would like to just explain to everyone how tremendously honored we are to add Lori and Casey's names to our honorary member list. This year, we had a lot of trials and tribulations and different activities and obstacles that we had to overcome. And I cannot thank these two women enough for being two people who not only care for all students in Calaveras County, but they cared about providing them opportunities through this corona situation. So when I think of Lori, one of the things that always comes to mind is that, yes, I know she hails from the Calaveras County, over in the Calaveras, the Redskin territory. But of what I know of Lori, she genuinely cares for every single kid, no matter where they hail from. And she doesn't matter if it's the little kids showing their rabbit or chicken, all the way up to someone with a huge steer or replacement heifer project. Lori's message is always that she will fight for every single kid to feel important and to feel represented within our community. And I think that that is an attribute for our students to look up to. Lori has helped us countless times in making sure that our students are able to show their projects that are fair. She has been instrumental during this entire online auction process, again, making sure that our students did not suffer, as so many students did in California with no livestock auction. Lori raised the bar and made sure that she continued her high level of excellence in making sure that our kids were taken care of. And Lori, welcome to our honorary membership. Casey, you are someone that I am so grateful that we have folded into our Bret Harte family. I can still remember the day in the grocery store when you're shopping with your kids, and I kind of gave you that peculiar look. And I said, wait a minute, you have sheep too, don't you? And because in my mind, my wheels were turning, and I couldn't have thought of a better person to bring in to represent the sheep and goat industry on our Bret Harte FFA Advisory Committee. And you have been such a wonderful addition. You've brought knowledge and depth to our sheep co-op project, not only assisting Mrs. Booth, but also the students, bringing your ultrasound equipment out, helping us with our sheep flock. You have been instrumental, sitting in those meetings and giving us advice and making sure that we are doing the very best for students. And even on top of all of that, Casey, you still do all of the entries and still all of the clerking for the Calaveras County Fair. And again, during this entire pandemic, you were there not only advising 4-H students, but also making sure that our Bret Harte FFA students were taken care of as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot think of two more worthy women in our community that have shown to us time and time again their support of our students, and the support of the Bret Harte FFA teachers. And I cannot thank you both enough. Welcome to our membership.
Mrs. Phillips and Mrs. Booth will now present banquet awards.
Hello and welcome back to night 2 of our awards ceremony. We're back again, and tonight we get to recognize students for excellence, leadership, scholarship, those students that have gone above and beyond to help our chapter in many different ways, whether it's with their SAE project, with their leadership positions in our organization, or just simply being excellent in their academics. And so to start us off, Mrs. Phillips is going to not only give out, but also explain the Gopher Award.
Yes, so the Gopher Award, that anyone who's watching knows that this is a pretty big tradition in our FFA chapter. And the reason why we call it a gopher is because they go for this and go for that.
Get it?
And gopher. So now, it's been a little inhibited since only 18-year-olds can go off campus, which has made it a little bit challenging, but we had a couple kids turn 18 and we did make them go for a lot of stuff. I won't tell you everything that they had to go for because I'm pretty sure it involved a drive-through at certain locations. Maybe. But not during school hours too. So this year's Gopher Awards are going to go to Madeline Ruff, Zoe Hartzink, and Emma Canepa. Congratulations, our little gophers. Next, I'm going to move on to our nominating committee recognition. The nominating committee is responsible for electing next year's chapter officers. And it's a committee that's made up of 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, 2 seniors, and the past president. This year, our nominating committee had some serious challenges to overcome because we couldn't all meet. And so we did meet on Zoom, which I don't know about anybody else who's watching this, but I never even knew what Zoom was until all of this happened. And yet we all know Zoom now. We know how to work Zoom. We know how to set up meetings with Zoom. We know how to Zoom. And we even learned Google Meet. That's a whole nother thing too. Mm-hmm. So the nominating committee cleverly came up with a way to be able to interview next year's officer candidates. And with the help of Mrs. Booth, we were able to even put together an online form that the students had to complete and turn in, that we were able to share with the nominating committee. And we're really proud of the work that they did. Mm-hmm. I think the hardest part of the nominating committee is that it's the most thankless job. Yeah. They have the hardest job. They are the most ridiculed if they make those tough decisions, mm-hmm. and they don't get a thank you for it. And I and Miss Booth and I, terrible grammar, we would like to just express our gratitude to these individuals for this selfless act of leadership, because it really is. Mm-hmm. Leadership is about serving, and these members of the nominating committee, in my opinion, serve our chapter in one of the highest capacities that we have. Mm-hmm. So they will all be receiving a silver pen to put on their FFA jackets once we get them again. And So we would like to start with our sophomore representatives. We didn't necessarily have everyone fill in every category, but we still had a very good nominating committee this year. So our two freshmen that we're going to start with are Afton Phillips and Sophia Ruff. Representing our sophomores would be Maddie Bain. Representing our juniors is going to be Andrea Case. And rounding out our seniors, our two representatives are Kara Schetzline and Joseline Gomez. And serving as the past president, we have Madeline Ruff. Young ladies, thank you so much for serving.
Yes.
And thank you for being the voices of our FFA chapter, being the voices that help to educate and guide Mrs. Booth and I so that we can continue the level of excellence in our FFA chapter that everyone expects. So thank you to our nominating committee. And now we move on to the award for excellence. Excellence is an award where we not only just, it's above leadership. It's someone who's serving leadership, but does so in an excellent fashion. Those that go above what the expectation is. Those that set, I would say, set the bar for excellence.
I agree.
And these individuals, we think about, we ponder over, and I think that one of the things that everyone needs to know is that the bar for excellence is really high. Mm-hmm. And it's those students that really make a difference and an effort. And sometimes they're behind the scenes. Sometimes the FFA members don't even know that these people are setting that bar high for you. Mm-hmm. And so this year we have 3 students who are going to be receiving their excellence pin. The first one is Joseline Gomez. She is a fantastic sentinel.
Yes.
And she never had to be told twice to do anything. She set that bar very high.
Sometimes she didn't even have to be told once.
Then we have Lily Tudbury. Lily is responsible for everything that you're seeing here. And I know that you'll hear us thank her later on, but that's not enough. Mm-hmm. What she has done with our PowerPoints for our meetings and what she has done to keep the hopes and the dreams of our FFA members alive by giving us this video banquet is something we can never, ever thank her enough for.
Agreed.
And then lastly, the last person that's receiving the Excellence Award tonight is our fearless leader, and that is Madeline Ruff. And that is because during this time, she's never given up. She's always continued to push forward. She's always continued to bring her officer team together and keep bugging them. And she keeps bugging us. And she keeps us on track. And this year was a tremendous amount of growth for Madeline. Mm-hmm. And trials and tribulations, but she handled them in a very exquisite fashion. And so she is well deserving of the Excellence Award. Congratulations, ladies. And the Leadership Award is next.
Yay.
I like this award too.
Yeah.
So these are students that throughout the year in our FFA chapter, they have actually demonstrated leadership and kind of stepped out of their comfort zone a little bit and stepped up in leadership to help our chapter and to help advisors and have just demonstrated those qualities of leadership. And so we have a few names that we would like to recognize this evening. So our chairperson of our committee chair for the Livestock Committee, we have Morgan Roleri. We also have a chair or co-op manager of the greenhouse co-op that helped me sell the last of the plants. Okay, and that is Natalie Flores. Then we have another young gentleman here that we would like to recognize because not only did he help out for classroom instruction, but he also helped out with bringing his animal in to help educate our kindergartners and first graders, and that is Cody Fish. And these 2 young ladies we'd like to recognize because they exhibited leadership by not only participating in some of our livestock activities, but most importantly, they volunteered and stepped up to help the members of our FFA chapter. And even though our livestock expo got canceled, it was so sad. even though it got canceled, we still felt that the leadership that they demonstrated by stepping up to the plate and saying, Mrs. Booth, we're helping you. Like, we're going to help our chapter learn how to do this. And so we'd like to give leadership to Kylie Mills and to Brenna Flanagan. And they were supposed to put on the beef seminar and show all of our members how to fit cattle so we could be prepared for fair. So you two young ladies, don't think we're not calling you. Kylie, you may graduate, but we're still coming for you. We're still going to be bringing you back in here. Then we'd also like to recognize for leadership an outstanding rabbit co-op manager, and that is Jimena Solis. And then lastly, a new person to our FFA chapter, but somebody who came in with a bang, like a big bang. And I think got on every co-op.
I think so, yes.
I think every co-op and a lot of committees.
Yes.
And just did a lot. And so we would like to make sure that we recognize Andrea Case for leadership. So now I am going to turn it over. We're not done with awards, so I'm turning it over to Mrs. Booth because we need GPAs and scholarships.
Yes. I think an unfortunate misnomer about ag education is that sometimes it's like, oh, the smart kids aren't in ag, so we like to, I know, sad day, right? That's very not true. You have to be smarter than the average bear to be in ag education because you can't just like do the normal schoolwork. You have to actually be able to keep things alive, both plants and animals. And then on top of that, you have to figure out budgets and all of that. Anyways,
you do the animals, I do the plants.
I'm very passionate about this because I think ag education is important. So for that, we have scholarship awards. And what that means is it is either the student or students that tied for the highest GPA in their grade level in ag. And so starting off with our 9th grade students, we had 8 students tie with a 4.0 GPA, people. 4.0, okay?
Ag students.
And these are ag students that actually do ag. You'll hear some of these names later, and you've heard some of them already. But those students are Kylie Arjantes, Robert Kimura, Delaney Lenahan, Brenda Nava, Milena Wakefield, Winter Whittle, Caitlin Lambert, and Tegan Serpa. Great job!
And you guys all get pens for your jackets too.
Perfect. Once we get to 10th grade, you know, things heat up a little bit. So we narrow it down to only one person, but hey, this person's still, right up there. And that 10th grader with the highest GPA is Miss Triana Jordan. Our 11th grader with the highest GPA, another name we've heard before, is Miss Andrea Case. And finally, our 12th grader, who, yes, we made it. This is the 4th year in a row I'm hearing that she has won the highest GPA, and that is...
And she is the highest GPA at Bret Harte High School.
Again, ag student, valedictorian.
Hello.
Okay, that is Miss Kiana Harker.
You did it, girl! Woo!
So congratulations to you students for just being awesome, being well-rounded, keeping academics at the forefront. Nice job. Next, we would love to recognize 2 members in our chapter that have a huge, huge job. I don't know how many people know this, but every single FFA chapter must be represented by delegates at our regional, well, our sectional too, but our sectional event isn't until the fall because of all this. But our regional events and our state event to not only vote on possible constitutional amendments, but also to vote on the next year's officers, whether that be at the regional level or the state level. And this year we had 2 students that served as delegates at both the regional level and the state level. And for those, regional level was pretty normal this year. They got to go to the event, they got to participate and talk to people, and that was fun. But they even stepped up and participated in a completely Zoom-led state convention this year.
I'm glad I didn't Zoom with 700 people.
Yes, it was 700 people, and they had to go multiple days in a row. So they had to set aside time, be in their official FFA dress. They had to participate online, which can be difficult if anyone has ever done any of this. Yes. This online thing is not easy.
This is difficult.
But both of these students just, again, had nothing but good things to say about any of it. And so we're so thankful for these 2 being our delegates all year. And that is Miss Natalie Flores and Miss Delaney Sullivan. Thank you, ladies. You'll also be getting a pin, correct?
Yes, they get a service pin.
Perfect, for their jackets.
Yes.
Next, this one's going to take a little bit, but we get to recognize some of our students for their wonderful SAE projects. And if any of you know our students, you know that they have wonderful SAE projects. That was something coming in this year that I was really impressed with, is students really do take to heart that supervised ag experience project. And really, they don't just like do it to get a grade in class, they actually do the project to want to like be better themselves. And I really appreciated that. So we have quite a few proficiency awards to give out. The first one is in the area of equine science entrepreneurship. And the winner of this area has had horses since she was 7. She currently has 6 horses, and she also, one of those is a lease. And so she actually leases a horse to ride in her high school rodeos. High school rodeo is actually pretty new to this one. She used to just do the county fair and show that way, but she wanted to branch out in her senior year, and so she got to compete in quite a few rodeos before everything
and did a good job at it.
Before everything got shut down. But that is Miss Morgan Relary. Congratulations on winning the Equine Science Entrepreneurship Proficiency Award for Bret Harte. Next, we have the Goat Production Proficiency Award, and this is a kind of a new one. You know, I mean, Bret Harte is not big into goats, I've learned, which I don't know why. They're like the coolest animal ever, but anywho, this year, one of our students had the opportunity, unfortunately out of an unfortunate situation, to acquire some does that actually are some very good breeding lines. And then she also raised a wether that she was planning on showing at the county fair, but since it got canceled, she actually just took her pig to the county fair, which makes sense.
She got FFA champion. I guess that's okay.
I think so. Okay. That was pretty good. But with that, she's learned quite a bit about goat production, and she plans on breeding those 2 does and actually starting her own goat herd here in the future. And that is Miss Delaney Sullivan. So goat entrepreneurship goes to Delaney Sullivan. Next, we have small animal production and care. And so this award can actually span quite a great deal. But the 2 applicants that we had, both applied under the Guide Dogs for the Blind. So both of these students raise guide dogs for the blind. And the student that wins it is actually on her 5th dog. She has raised 4 successfully already, and she just started her 5th dog. She's also part of the leadership of the Guide Dogs for the Blind, and she actually made it all the way to state last year for this proficiency for Guide Dogs for the Blind. And so we'd like to congratulate Miss Rowan Perry for her small animal production and care proficiency.
And she was the sectional winner too.
Yes, she was.
Time out.
Yes, we're back. Okay. Next, we're going to get into some plant sales. So the first one is nursery operations, entrepreneurship, or placement. So this is a combined category. We had a couple of students apply for this award, and our winner is one that actually works at a greenhouse or a nursery up in Murphy's.
Yep.
And she's in her application, she explains how much she's learned about plant identification and being able to help customers not only with like what types of plants they should grow in their yards, but how to take care of them. And we look forward to seeing how well she does in the future with this job. I think it's quite awesome. And that is Miss Natalie Flores. Yay! Next is ag sales. Ag sales can either be this is an entrepreneurship award, but it's a combined area. You can be placement too, and that again is a proficiency area that spans a lot. So it's basically the selling of any agricultural product. The student that applied for this award is a senior with us, and she took floral to heart. She loves it and actually developed her own business, started it in high school, and last year completely successfully did a wedding by herself. She ordered all her own flowers, did all the arrangements, delivered it, set everything up. And any of you that know anything about floral, like I'm learning, she laughs at me, but I'm learning, knows that for a high school senior to be able to do a wedding completely on her own means that she's not only learned a lot from floral, but she also is going to take this project far, and it's not just going to be a high school SAE project. And so we'd love to congratulate Miss Zoe Hartsink for her ag sales entrepreneurship proficiency. Yay. All right, I think we are down to 3 more. Yes, 3 more. So we'll start off with sheep production. We actually had quite a few students apply for this. We have quite a few students that either are part of the sheep co-op, have their own head of sheep. And so this one was a little bit more competitive. Is that the word? Sorry, lost the word. But in this one, our winner actually owns about 35 head of sheep herself. She has Dorsets and Dorset Advantage, which Dorset Advantage is like it's partial Dorset, but anywho, and she has her own bucks. She breeds her own animals herself, and she also has even branched out, so she sells sheep locally to many of the students that show at the Calaveras County Fair. And so again, this is another student that this isn't just a high school SAE project. This is a business that she will carry on past high school, and the student's only a sophomore, so we look forward to seeing how this grows in the next 2 years, and we look forward to seeing this Proficiency Award carried on to higher levels as well, and so we'd love to congratulate Miss Delaney Sullivan. Next, we have beef production. Again, another hot area in this particular county, which is awesome. I love cattle. But the winner of this particular award has an amazing project. I was really impressed when I went out and saw her project and just how much that it has grown since she got her first 3 heifers. She's bred her own heifers. She's competed locally at jackpots. She even went to Denver this last year and competed with a heifer that she bred and got 3rd in class, which for those of you that know cattle shows, Denver's like the godfather of cattle shows, and to get 3rd in class is a huge deal. And so not only does she do well in the show ring, she also has a very expansive project with over 30 head of cattle. She also loves to help locally. She sells to buyers locally, and her whole Proficiency Award application was how much she loves to help people. And I've seen that this year just in the small amount of time that I've gotten to spend time with her, and I've heard about it from Miss Phillips over the last couple of years, just how much she goes out of her way to help everyone at the fair with fitting their cattle and prepping their cattle for the fair. And so I just think that this is the perfect award, and we want to congratulate Miss Kylie Mills for beef production entrepreneurship. And our final proficiency is the diversified livestock production proficiency.
What is that, Mrs.
So
Booth?
that is somebody that raises and owns and raises more than one type of livestock. So it could be goats and sheep, it could be sheep and cattle, it could be pigs and goats, just any 2 livestock. If you have been paying attention at all, you probably know who applied for this award. But this student has, again, she just started her goat production project. I lost the word again. Goodness gracious. She has a well-functioning sheep production project. She does actually have swine as well. She did used to breed them, but now she just does market. And she has a beef production project. She shows heifers, and that's kind of a new one to her. But so a student that has 4 different species of animals on her property she's taking care of day by day is definitely deserving of the diversified livestock production proficiency, and that is Miss Delaney Sullivan. And that wraps up, again, I love the Proficiency Awards because, again, these SAEs are like near and dear to my heart, but those are some awesome students we have representing our chapter in many, many different award areas.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Booth.
Of
that
course.
was wonderful. Okay, so the last award we have tonight, well, actually, it's kind of sad.
It is.
Nobody applied for it.
I know. I just found out about it, so.
Mrs. Booth found out about it when I said we forgot it, and then we redid the application for it, but no one wanted it. And so many of you may say, what's it? And that's exactly what it is, it. And it's an award that we give to our graduating seniors. Many moons ago, actually I can say it was 13 years ago, we were at Cal Poly, Mr. Beck and I, and our student teacher, Katie Reed at the time, and she was a hoot, loved Katie Reed. Total hoot. And we kept seeing these signs all over Cal Poly's campus, like one of those sandwich board kind of signs, and it said it on it. And it was some guy running for Associated Student Body President at Cal Poly. And so we made a joke, and Mr. Beck would always be joking around about it. What's this it? What's this it? And heckling me about it because I was a Cal Poly graduate. And so Mrs. Reed stole it and put it in the back of the car. So that when Mr. Beck woke up in the morning, it was in the back of the ag truck, literally propped up. And so we made it a tradition. And so we call it because the name IT is on the board. So we just call it. And it has been naughty a few times, I'll let you know, with some help of students, and made its way into some trees. It was not good. But it was an award that we gave to our seniors. And the reason why we're telling you about it is because it has been a tradition within our FFA chapter for the last 13 years. And we don't want it to go away, even though it made its way back to Calaveras County. I know where it is. The girl who has it is ready to bring it back. So I guess if you're a graduating senior and you still have aspirations of having it, then email Miss Booth and I and let us know you want it. And it goes around with all the students, and they put their signature, their name, and their college sticker on it. And so that is a tradition in our chapter. So although this year, I guess nobody just wanted to go pick it up with 6 feet social distancing. Maybe that was the issue.
Could
they were a little worried about having to come into contact with it, but I'm pretty sure we could quarantine it.
There you go.
For 14 days. We could quarantine it,
mm-hmm.
and then it would be safe, so you can apply for it. So if that's something that you want, please let us know, because I don't want to keep it forever. So, and we want to make sure that we continue the traditions in our FFA chapter too.
Well, that concludes night 2 of awards. And again, we're really excited for all of these students and all that they're doing.
Yeah. All right.
So we're going to pass it on to Miss Madeline, and she is going to talk about the officer team's parent recognition.
Good night.
The officer team will now take a moment to recognize and express our gratitude to the adults who have stood behind us for the past 16 to 18 years, our parents. Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for your endless love and support. Mom, even though we are different, thank you for being a selfless role model. Dad, even though I hate your never-ending use of stupid sayings, thank you for being the hardest working person I know. To the both of you, thank you for allowing me to figure things out on my own and for trusting me to do that. Also, thank you to my grandparents for embodying values like integrity, compassion, and charity in their everyday lives. Much love, Madeline.
Dear Mom and Dad, I would first like to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for supporting me through FFA, golf, and life. You guys are my biggest supporters, and I can't thank you enough. I am beyond proud to call you guys my parents. Love you guys. I would also like to thank my grandparents, Carrie and Alan, aka Princess, for all their support throughout the years with my Sae Projects and golf matches. Love you guys.
Mom and Dad, thank you guys so much for all of your constant support. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for you guys. You have built me to be a strong and independent woman, and I cannot thank you enough for that. I love you guys so much. Love always, Lily Girl.
Mom and Dad, I would like to thank you for the constant support and love. You have never told me no when it comes to ag, always allowing me to try new things, even if you didn't fully understand them. When I'm lost, you remind me where I am. When I'm hurt, you help me heal. And without your constant love and support, I wouldn't know who I am or where I belong. Thank you. Love, Zoe.
Dear Mom and Dad, I want to say thank you to the both of you for always being there for me and being my biggest support system. Over the years, you guys have taught me so much, whether it be how to fish or how to make smarter choices. You guys were there through it all, even if it was some pretty hard times. Knowing that I could always come to you guys on the best of days and even on the worst of days. Without you guys, I wouldn't be half of the leader I am today. I know that I can never truly repay you two for all that you have done for me and provided me with. I love you both endlessly to the moon and back. Love your baby girl, Scooby.
Mom and Dad, words cannot express how grateful I am that you have stood by me all 18 years of my life. You've shown me nothing but love and compassion. Thank you for teaching me how to live in this wild world. Dad, thank you for the sacrifices you make to make sure our family has the best life possible. Mom, thank you for putting us before your dreams, and I'm glad that you now have your bookstore, something that's just for you. I love you both very much, and I'm so lucky to call you my parents. Love, Joseline. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now concluded Night 2 of our FFA Banquet video series. We hope that you enjoyed tonight and will continue to watch Part 3 tomorrow night, May 27th, which will be released at 6 p.m. You can find the link on the Bret Harte FFA webpage or on our Instagram. Tomorrow we will announce the remaining awards for our FFA members, post the annual slideshow, and announce the 2020-2021 FFA officer team. Good evening and stay safe.